Welcome to the Drive to Draw podcast once again. My name's Pete, joining the studio with Phil. I nearly said the wrong name there. It's been a long night tonight already, but mate, well done on our interview a little bit, which we'll promote now. We've got an interview with Barrie Lester. We're actually going to put that as a totally separate interview. We're not going to insert it into this episode. But how was your weekend, mate? Let's start off there.
Pretty average team-wise. Lost Saturday, went out to Salisbury, lost Saturday. My rink got up. We got up last bowl, mate. I promoted one of my teammates, and that was enough to get us over the line.
Yep.
Midweek, same. Team went down, and I was the only rink up by 10. Mm-hmm. So I'm sort of blaming your own bags here today.
Hey, you're doing well.
Anyway, so yeah, look, they're coming out all right. A few tips from Barrie tonight. I should be right.
You'll be
look
cherry
out
right.
Saturday.
I do hear on the grapevine you've got a singles going on tomorrow night.
Singles tomorrow night.
Good luck with that, and Barry's giving you a few little tips along the way.
Yeah, going out to Lockleys to play it. Yep. Angus Dixon.
Yes.
Playing him in the semi. So looking forward to that. Good little bowler, Angus. So it should be a tough match. So, looking forward to it.
Absolutely. All right, let's get into Around the Greens.
Around the Greens.
All right, mate. We did take a little bit of a look at the midweek pennants last week and also the Saturday pennants, but we're going to concentrate back to the Saturday this week, and we'll have a look at Wednesdays moving forward. All right, let's talk Round 6 Premier League.
Round 6 Premier League. Adelaide played Ascot.
Adelaide played Ascot?
Yep, 59, Tascott 92.
I think Hawthorn played Ascot.
I got down Hawthorn played Somerton.
Adelaide did play Ascot. You're exactly right. It's this week.
I thought I was wrong once,
you're right, mate.
But I was mistaken.
Mate, it's been a long night. We're going to try and whiz through this pretty quickly. We've been told we go for too long, so maybe we better pull back on
Peter
that.
Luke,
he's given us the both barrels there.
He was just on the phone.
Absolutely. Ascot getting over Adelaide there.
Yep, 59 to 92. John A. Void, who's really found the Adelaide scene a bit tough. He's at the moment he's 0-6, minus 59, sitting down the bottom of the player ladder. I had a quick look today.
Yes,
he got touched up again by Sammy Dietrich, which is no
slouch.
No slouch, old Sammy. So that was the first game. Lockleys 83, Salisbury 91. So Salisbury another good win over the struggling Lockleys.
Yes, and shortened games slightly last weekend with games being promoted at 9 for 9:30 or 8:30 for 9.
9:15 start. Yep. And the biggest winning rink there was Ross McConnell over Theo Katsivas, 30 to 19. The next game, Holdfast, which I tipped Modbury.
And I tipped Holdfast.
Yeah, Holdfast 88, Modbury 75.
Yes.
Young Liam Coe, the biggest winning rink there, 32 over Chris Fenning, 16.
Liam's having a reasonably good year, his rink.
And Hawthorn 68, and I tipped Summerton. I believe you tipped Hawthorn.
I did.
Lockie Bowman getting touched up this week by Pedo, Nathan Pedersen.
Yes.
13-28, so good win by Pedo.
I've been on the receiving end of a couple of Nathan Pedersen's masterclasses, and he just is, when he's on, he's on. And
absolutely.
I thought being the shorter game, as in a few less ends, it might play into Hawthorn's advantage there, but Summerton had other ideas, and at the moment are sitting top of the table.
And their last game was Grange 99 over West Lakes 82. I think we both tipped Grange.
Yes.
Benny Bowman 30 over Jimmy Gregory 16.
Yes.
So that was the games from round 6. We'll go into round 7, Pete.
We will, but let's have a quick look at the table. Summerton 6 and 6 wins,
0 losses
played from 6 games. Ascot, Grange and Hawthorn all with 4 wins, 2 losses.
Yep.
And then there's a couple there with 3 and 3, which is Club Holdfast and Salisbury. 2 surprises this early in the season. We thought that Salisbury might struggle a little bit.
Yep.
We knew they'd obviously be competitive, but they put themselves in a pretty good position there. And Holdfast, obviously losing a plethora of players, have also held their heads high early on. Lockleys and Modbury rounding out the bottom of the table there. So round 7, let's squeeze into that, mate.
And we'll get our tips out.
All right,
Summerton versus Grange.
I don't know whether it's good to listen to us.
A
for
lot
some
of
our
people will be
tips.
writing these down, I reckon, wouldn't they?
I hope so. Summerton v Grange. I'm going to go Summerton.
Summerton for me.
Yep. West Lakes v
Holdie.
Holdfast.
Yep. Who are you going there?
West Lakes.
I'll go Holdie.
I'm going to go West Lakes at home.
Yep. Modbury versus Lockleys.
Modbury.
Modbury for me. Ascot versus Hawthorn.
Oh.
Good game at Ascot.
Because it's the home ground advantage, I'm going to go Ascot.
Ascot for me.
There you go.
Okay.
Salisbury v Adelaide.
Adelaide for me.
Adelaide for
I
me
think
as
they'll
well.
bounce back now.
Yep.
I have never written them off, that's for sure.
No, and a few players obviously will return. I reckon, and we are going to talk about this a little bit later with the BPL, Adelaide making the finals meant that they weren't available for the 9 a.m. sort of start.
Yeah.
If it had been at 12, they probably would have got back in time.
Yep.
So a few players missing there. All right, mate, let's move on to round 6 in Division 1. Isn't it nice we're back to just a straight round rather than
not
trying to
looking up.
juggle and
Yeah.
dodge and round 2 playing in round 1 and
Takes me half the time to do my notes at the moment, so it's good.
mate, I've got to keep you busy during the day now that you're retired.
Yeah, that's right, exactly.
All right, let's move on. Round 6, Division 1.
Rightio. Summerton. It was the top two sides here. Summerton 51, Marion 77. I know I tipped Marion
I
because
tipped Marion
tipped
as
them
well.
to go top.
Yep.
Steve Foster 8. He came up against Ash Closey 23.
Yep.
So a good win for Ash. Port Noarlunga versus Tranmere at Port Noarlunga. I think I picked them at Port Noarlunga.
I reckon I picked Port Noarlunga as well.
68 to 61. So it's a close game.
Yep.
Anthony Moffat 21, Graham Young 11 was the biggest winning rink there.
A couple of quality players there.
Yep. Henley versus Millswood at Henley. Henley 59, Millswood 72. Jeff Marsh 27 over John Wells 9. Toorak, the next game. Toorak, bottom side at the moment, 52 versus Woodville 66.
You tipped Toorak, I
I
reckon.
did.
Yeah, I tipped Woodville.
I just thought they might have got them at home.
Yep.
And surprisingly, Feasty 10, Trevor Feast 10, Sav Marafiotti 20. So good win for Sav there.
Feasty, what are you doing, mate? You
Yeah.
should have done that against myself and Kathy in the mixed. He had a day out, but unfortunately on the receiving end this time. That's bowls, isn't it, mate?
Yeah, it is bowls. Modbury, the last game of the round, 74, defeated Paynham at Modbury. Patrick McGuinness 24 over Corey Searle, one of the up-and-coming skips there at Paynham.
Yep.
So he's on the end of Patrick McGuinness, who's a fair bowler.
Yep, veteran bowler that's been around the traps for a long, long time.
So we'll run through the premiership table there.
Yeah, let's go
Pete.
for it, mate.
Marion, 6 and zip.
Bit like Summerton in the Premier League. Yep.
And Summerton second.
Yes.
4 1 and 1. Millswood 4 and 2, and Port Noarlunga 4 and 2. So that rounds up the top 4 there.
And Modbury and Toorak rounding out the bottom 2 sides there.
Yep.
So Modbury got a bit of work to do both through their Prem side and their Division 1 side to stave off relegation.
Yeah.
I know it's early in the season.
It is.
And
Not even halfway
there's
yet,
a
Pete.
lot of things to happen between now and then, and there's other teams that have got to play each other. But I know the Paynham Modbury one went down to the last couple of bowls.
Oh, did it?
So, yeah,
Okay,
I was speaking
74
to
to 70, so...
Benny McDonald.
Yeah.
Had a quick word with him, and he sort of said, yeah, it was a close game, and last couple of bowls sort of decided it.
Yep.
We didn't give a match of the round for Premier League, but we sort of are leaning a
we
little
didn't
bit
either.
towards the
Summerton
and
Grange.
Grange.
That'll be our match of the round this week.
Absolutely. And in Division 1,
Division 1 this
well,
week.
we've got to talk about who's playing, and then we'll give our match
We
of the round from
certainly
there.
will. Woodville and Modbury.
I'm going to go Woodville.
Modbury for me.
Fighting back.
Paynham and Henley at Paynham.
I'm going to go
next
Paynham.
door. I'm going Henley.
Big recruit coming for Paynham this week, mate.
Is there?
Yeah, a bit of...
Really?
Yep, I've just got the word that there's a big recruit that is
Wowee.
back on the green for Paynham, for the Paynham Panthers.
Oh, not Ratters.
No.
Ah,
No.
with a new knee. $6 million
Yes.
man.
Not yet. I think they're saying about Christmas,
Christmas
for Rattles.
time.
But,
That's what he.
but no, Paynham have got a recruit
Okay.
coming
Wow.
to the club this week. So I'm
Wow.
going to pick them on that basis.
Okay. You tell me off air.
We'll talk off air.
Off
I don't
air.
want to.
No,
I don't want to
don't
give it
spoil
away.
it,
I don't want
no.
to give it away.
Okay. Millswood versus Port Noarlunga. I reckon this is our match of the round.
This is our match of the round. I'm going to go Millswood.
Millswood for me, at Millswood.
Yep.
Marion versus Toorak, top versus bottom.
Stranger things have happened, but I don't see it happening this week. Marion for me.
Neither do I. Marion for me. Tranmere at home to Somerton. So it could be a second best game of the round, I would say.
I think it's going to be tighter than what everybody thinks.
I agree.
But I reckon Somerton are going to
Somerton for me. Yep.
Absolutely.
Well, that's the matches from the Premier and the Div 1.
Absolutely. All right,
Done
mate.
our tips.
We've done them. Let's take a quick hot shot break.
Track.
Oh, it's on a very, very good track.
Wow.
And a
Great
Pentua
ball.
putting her hand up for the shot of the day already in just the third end.
Good here, team.
Track is excellent here. Just needs it to steady up. Great bowl. Harry Keita Johnson, and he loves it as
That is
well.
awesome. Awesome bowl.
Or can it swoop in and see
What a
that bowl
shot.
as requested by the skipper?
Awesome.
Perfection. Pete Matthews, he's also getting one to swing in very late. I'll tell you what. Pete Matthews, good start. Haven't seen any others since.
Might need the jack here, Matty. He's got it. That's a good shot.
Matthew Northcott showing all of his class. Brenton Bale is coming in at a good pace.
That's a good one.
Tell you what, awesome stuff. That's his own contender for the shot of the day.
All right, mate. Everyone's favourite segment around the regions. We know that the Barossa and Light are listening. Players out there are listening with intent, mate. Fire away.
I've got to be careful this week, Pete.
Ooh.
Heading up there Sunday, so for the Newry tournament.
Absolutely. I look
So
forward to hearing about that.
I've got to
mate.
be, just a bit careful what I say
Keep
here.
your head
Yep.
below the water a little bit. Yep. Fair
I've
enough.
tipped Newry now. Whoever
Yes.
they're playing, I'm tipping Newry.
I love it.
So, first game of the round was Yadunda versus Freeling. So it's top versus bottom. Yadunda 117 to Freeling 67. Turtle Curtis was the best of the skips there, 35, or his rink was, 35 to Rod Scene 13.
Yep.
Kapunda under the
hanger.
hanger,
Yep.
the big hanger, 65 against Angaston 80. I've tipped Angaston, they'll be around the mark still.
Yep.
Brian Grant was the on the end of a Liam Buckley hiding. Brian Grant 10, Liam Buckley 23. Must mention both the greens, they skipped either two rinks and they both got up. So it was two rinks up, two rinks down.
Yep.
So
Some
well done to them.
some big scores though.
Yeah.
That they
Yep.
end up losing what was
they
about
couldn't
15
cover
shots.
'em. Yeah. Yep. Lindock. And we know Lindock are coming.
Well, you did.
We
you did
know
sort
that.
of predict it.
We know that
did
coming.
predict it, yep.
Aaron Ayres told me.
Yep.
We have been invited up there for a Friday night tea too.
Fantastic.
Pete, and we'll
All
do
right.
the show up there.
Yep. Well, you're obviously busy tomorrow night, but maybe in a couple of weeks'
Yeah,
time.
all those might even try it after Christmas when that oval.
Oh,
it's
yep.
hard getting in there at the moment. The tees are a bit stagnated because of the oval entrance. You
yep.
can't get in there.
Yep.
So we might even try, and I'll tee that up for a new year.
Absolutely.
So-
we might even try and do a little bit of a broadcast. From
Yeah,
there.
yeah. We'll do a live
Yeah.
live there. They'll probably have a few beers under the.
Hey,
but anyway.
nothing wrong with that.
So Lindock getting over Tanunda, 93 to 60 at the beautiful Lindock Greens. Harry Sykes, who I've mentioned just about every week, his rank 33 to Neil Stewart 10. So it's a big win.
Yes.
Newry, well, they did win, and I'm going to tip them this week, as I said. Newry 112 to Mount Pleasant 38. It's a fair hiding there.
It is. I'm assuming the mayor of Newry had an okay day.
Didn't see his name. He wasn't the biggest winning rink. Rob Gropey 34 over Neil Crone 6. So that's a
That's a
huge
tough day.
win. That
That's a
is a
tough
big
day.
win. So the ladder still looks pretty similar as it did last week, Pete. Yadunda still on top, 5-1-1. Lindock, as we know, they're coming 5-2. Angaston 4-3, still around the mark, and Newry and Tanunda both 4-3 as well. That rounds out the 5, but it's only a top 4, obviously. But there we go.
Absolutely. All right, should we get on to this week's tips?
Quickly,
Because
round
everyone's
8.
waiting to hear them, mate.
Here we go. Tanunda play Mount Pleasant at Tanunda.
Tanunda for me.
Tanunda for me. Newry play Freeling at Newry.
Newry for me.
Newry for me, definitely.
You have
Newry.
to. You have to.
Yeah.
Make sure you win the prize there this weekend. I want to see photos, mate.
Yeah, get the photos. Yadunda and Angaston, match of the round this one.
Angaston for me.
Yadunda. No, sorry, I'm going Angaston as well. I've got them marked here, Angaston.
Yep.
Even though it's at Yadunda,
No, but I think
I think Angaston
are
are.
the benchmark.
They are. And Linddock, out Linddock, where we're going for tea when we get it organised. So
Yep.
we've got to tip Linddock.
We do have
versus
to tip Linddock.
Kapunda at Linddock.
I think the Greens will be formidable opponents, but
Oh,
I'm going to pick an
We're
upset.
going Linddock?
I am going to pick an upset.
well, are you going Kapunda?
No.
Well, that's the upset because Kapunda aren't in the. Linddock is sitting
No,
second.
that's why I'm picking Linddock.
Oh.
I just wanted to throw a spanner in the
you
works
threw
there, mate.
me.
No, definitely
Yeah, Linddock for me too. So that's the matches up in the Barossa.
Absolutely. All right, mate. Let's get into. We're going to move past the tipping this week. Obviously, we sort of know what the tips are for what we're doing, but also the SA Bowls tipping. Make sure you get your tips in on time, especially if games do change to earlier in the Saturday morning, or obviously if some games have been scheduled for Friday night, and I do think there are a couple that are going to be coming up very, very soon. So make sure you do that. Let's get into our player interview.
Players interview.
All right, mate, we're not going to play our players' interview as part of our regular episode because it did go for about an hour, so we're going to do that as a totally separate episode.
Yep.
But, mate, your thoughts on Barrie Lester, obviously, joining us tonight, mate. You were almost sitting there in awe at one stage.
Could hardly talk.
Yep.
No, you had plenty. I mean, it's great to listen to. So I was quite happy to sit back, just listen to what the man has to say because he's the benchmark of, well, just about Australian bowls.
Yep.
He's just about won everything there is to win, and and I'm going to definitely grab him for a coaching session while he's over here, and probably a couple beers after somewhere, and you know.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And chew his ear off about not
Absolutely.
only bowls, but he loves his golf as well.
Yep.
Mate, as we have mentioned as part of that episode, he will be in Adelaide from the 9th of February. If there are any clubs out there that are looking to have him come down and do a coaching session, please get in contact with Barrie via his website. I think that's barrielester.com.au. We might even put that up on our socials as well. So because we're cutting our players' interview short tonight, let's get into some of the state events. All right, mate, some of our state events. The state triples were played on the weekend, and some pretty good results there for some of the teams. I'm just trying to find that on the computer. Here we go. Getting through to the Metro qualifiers was Luke West, Isaac Jesser, and I think it's Corey Hicks of Adelaide at the Adelaide Bowling Club.
We had that trouble last week, didn't we?
We did indeed. I might actually message Corey and see if it
Yep.
was definitely him. I'd say it would be Will McFarlane, Josh Studham, and Nathan Black.
Well, they beat us.
Getting through there to the Metro qualifiers after a couple of wins in round 1 and round 2. What would it be? Corey Jackson, Port Noarlunga, M. Williams, Port Noarlunga, and Brad Napper of Port Noarlunga getting through there. Grant Seagets, Darren Seagets, and Colin Watkins getting through as well there from Hawthorn. Congratulations to those guys. D. Wilson, B. Roberts, and P. Ryan. Blackwood, Hawthorn, and Marion combining there. And the last team to qualify in the Metro qualifiers was Michael Lodge, Mark Evans, and Benny Bowman coming from both from Grange, and obviously Lodgy there, a stalwart of the Hawthorn Bowling Club. So congratulations to those teams that will now go through to the finals week, which is I think in early to mid-April. So we'll actually be there to cover a little bit of those games. So really looking forward to that. Mate, let's move on to extra ends. Flying through it. All right, let's kick us off with tournaments, mate.
Looks like the Modbury Fours, Saturday the 21st of December, 9 a.m. for a 9:30 start, $120 per team. Then we got one down at Ascot Christmas Triples, Saturday the 28th of December, 9:30 for a 10 o'clock start, $60 per team. That's the only couple I've got there, Pete.
No, the couple of teams, a couple of tournaments there, assuming that obviously the 21st of December is not a pennant game, which it looks like it's not. But, teams trying to make up if it's raining, wet, hot. Could be interesting if that has to go ahead. So should be interesting. And then Ascot there, lunch is provided for both of those events. I know that the Modbury one there is pairs, fours.
Oh, yeah.
So everyone will get a bit of lunch there as well. So, if you want to put a team in, put a team in.
I have got one other. It's, I played at Moala this year over by near Yarrawonga.
Yep.
Took a team over, and it's over the border. I'll give a few more details next week. I said I'll give them a plug on the podcast tonight.
Yep.
It's only just been released, but any SA clubs looking to go, it's well worth it. Prize money is extraordinary. It's unbelievable. Like $4,000 each to win the tournament. So it's $16,000 for the prize money for first prize. We came sixth, so we got amongst it this year. So I will give you more details next week.
Perfect. Absolutely looking forward to that. All right, mate, let's move on to the BPL and BPL Cup. The South Australians, unfortunately, coming runners-up to back-to-back champions there in Edelong. Well done to the team from
Barrie.
Sorry.
The Barrie boys.
Barrie boys, that's it. Congratulations to them there. Let's move on to BPL. The Adelaide Pioneers, I think they pulled a bit of a rabbit out of a hat because when we were sitting here... they were sitting in 8th position, needed a very, very good fourth day and ended up...
a tough draw.
Yes, and then ended up with the last two games on the Friday morning before the finals, which were the top two teams in the Sydney Lions and the Tweed Heads Ospreys, going in close matches, and a couple of results sort of fell their way, and they fell into the 5.
Haven't watched the game yet. I've got it on tape, as I said to Barrie. I taped the whole lot. So I know they lost.
Yes,
because I did actually watch the final.
They did get through their first game, but then then they lost their second game.
That's more than I knew. I haven't watched it. So
sorry to give away the result there.
But hell, Pete, now I'm not going to watch it.
We need to put that little disclaimer. Look away now if you don't want to know the results. Obviously, we spoke with Laney there a couple of weeks ago. We want to try and get, obviously, Rudy and Scotty on at some stage over the season. But they really put it together, winning, I think it was about 7 out of their last 11 games, which got them into the finals. Yeah,
no, it's a credit to them. They obviously gelled when they needed to and why they went.
Exactly right. Yeah. Congratulations also goes to Nathan Black, who was in the MVP team of the tournament, or the BPL 20 there.
And the player of the series.
Yep, and as mentioned by Barrie as part of his interview, that for a player to come in back end with quality in front of him there and produce the goods, sort of says that Nathan's going places and is going very, very well, not only at national level, but also BPL and locally here as well. So congratulations go there. And then congratulations go to the Tweed Ospreys. Again, mate, I don't know if you know the results. Look away now.
I did watch that one.
Yep.
I watched the final.
They were mighty impressive. And once again, when the whips were cracking, Corey Wedlock put the screws on.
Big balls.
And then Aaron Tees obviously doing his job there with Chloe Stewart. So congratulations go to them. I think... What is it? They're up to about 4 or 5 now. They had a bit of a purple patch there where they were just taking everybody before them. Congratulations, obviously, going to the Geelong Jets, who participated in their first tournament, and the Sydney Saints in their first tournament, and ended up finishing 3rd after the minor round. Very, very, very well done.
Don't tell me how they went.
I won't, mate. I'll leave it there. BPL Cups, look out, obviously, on the Bowls Australia website. I'm sure the next round of BPL Cups will start to be advertised over the next short little period of time for the event coming up in Moama, I reckon it is. It's sort of their turn to host. So good luck to everybody there, and get a team in, or start to think about getting a team in there. All right, mate. National events. Barry did mention that there is some national events with the teams going over to New Zealand. We'll have a bit more about results and players. I know that Kate Argent-Bowden was part of that team that flew over. I think it was today. So good luck to the Australian players there. And then the last one, which we did sort of touch base with Barry, is the Australian Open returns to the Gold Coast Saturday the 7th of June to Friday the 20th of June 2025. Start thinking about it now, because accommodation, flights, you generally get some good deals at this time of the year. So if you want to go over to the Australian Open, it's an absolutely fantastic event, and you get to see pretty much most of the Gold Coast. Mate, I know you
haven't been.
Yep,
haven't
mate,
been. I know Pete's always on my case,
Yep.
but it's my footy season, so I love my footy. So
you got to put in a request to Port Adelaide to play Gold Coast up there, or Brisbane
now
up
we're
there
right.
in those 2
Yeah,
weeks.
you're right.
Then you get to go.
Must have a word to Kenny.
Yep, I'm sure you've got Kenny on speed dial, mate. All right, mate. Let's move on. A couple of questions and hot topics to finish off. Tournaments. There's a lot of tournaments that rely on holding events for additional income. Should there be more available? And this sort of ties in with what we were talking about with Barry, in that reducing the season a little bit to allow these tournaments to be played.
Yeah, that's right. Cut the season back by a couple of weeks, and just let the clubs revenue. I mean, it's a good revenue raiser, isn't it? The old tournament. You always buy $5 worth of raffle tickets. You have a couple of beers.
Yep.
It's what it's all about. Pennants can be a bit hit and miss at times, I think.
Yep.
I mean, you don't pay anything, admittance to play there.
Yep.
And, so it's a good revenue raiser for them in that.
A lot of clubs obviously rely on barefoot bowls to keep them going,
Oh,
but
yeah,
also
absolutely.
these 1 or 2 tournaments that they can run a year. Because at the moment, with the way the schedule is, you're trying to fit it in between state events, which are running pretty much every weekend, either the sectionals, then the knockouts. So then teams that put in a team for a tournament have got to pull out because they made it through, and
That's exactly right.
just makes it that little bit harder.
And now Super
that to
Challenge, I think, starts this week.
Yep.
And so I had to pull out of that. I didn't realise that started.
Yep.
And I've got the tournament up at Newry this week.
Yep.
So I had to pull out of that.
Well, we did that a couple of years ago, where we rushed like mad idiots
that's
to try
right, we did too.
try and get
Down to
there, and
Lockley's, wasn't it?
absolutely exhausted.
Yeah, and I
at the end
bowled
of it.
like a,
I bowled
woolly
well,
goat.
but I had Aussie back ending helping me out there.
I was a woolly goat.
Yeah,
Oh.
no, fair enough. So maybe should we be sort of promoting that a little bit more to help clubs along?
Yeah, it could be another thing.
Yep.
Yep.
We've got a long list to speak to the Bowls SA executives about. We might have to head down there and interview a few and say, hey, these are our ideas. Anyway, should finals week be so far away? We're playing all of our finals basically in April after the season's finished. I understand why they've done that, but the mixed finals have got to wait, which obviously was the first event. The triples, were last weekend and the weekend before, and now they've got to wait until April.
It is a long way away.
It is a long way away.
Yeah.
Is it
Sort
too
of
far
forgotten
away?
about it.
Should we split it up a little bit, where we have 2 lots of finals weeks, where we have the first lot of tournaments that are played before Christmas, played around that Christmas time period where everyone's still in bowls mode, and then the tournaments that are played after Christmas, the state events that are played after Christmas, played in the second lot of finals weeks there for your pairs and your singles.
I think we'll sign you up at Bowls SA.
Mate, don't say that. I've got so much work going on personally at the moment, which has stopped me from getting on the green as much as I'd like at the moment. But no, I'm more than happy to throw up suggestions.
Yeah.
But maybe that's one way of potentially doing
Could
it.
be the answer.
I understand you want to get it all out of the way in one hit, but maybe there's a way of incorporating the pennant finals in there somewhere as well as part of that whole week.
Could be.
I mean, we're trying to get more eyes and eyeballs and people to actually visit those clubs to watch those games. That might be the way to do it.
Could be, Pete. I don't know.
Mate, I'm
never in those state
Nostradamus
finals.
with I'm Nostradamus with the crystal ball, but back in the day, I mean, I played a semi-final on a Monday and had to give up work to do that. So I understand why they've tried to to get it on a
I
shorter
never
basis.
get that far, Pete.
Mate, you got to lift your
I
game.
can book my holidays in April.
Mate,
So
well, you get a coaching lesson with Barrie and you'll
yeah,
be right.
I'm going
mate.
to. Don't
Absolutely.
worry.
All right, mate, we better wind things up there. Huge episode again. We thank Barrie Lester for his time. We're obviously going to do that interview completely separate to our normal episode. So I haven't come up with a tagline.
and
So
Pete,
you know
Pete's
what?
not listening now. So, I'm not mentioning him anymore. That's it.
Done. Cut
That's
him
it.
off. Well, we're going to say it as per usual, mate. We got to do better than this.
We've got it.
We got to.
Thanks,
We'll see
Pete.
everybody next week. Thanks, mate.